Hunter x Hunter, episode 133. Let's go ahead and knock out some points. The first thing is let's go back to Knuckles and Melaron getting knocked out previously. Why did it have to happen so quickly? Because if there would have been any prolonged interaction in the proximity of the king, okay, notice how fast they got knocked out and transported and dumped off, right? And the king's off. He's off wandering around trying to get clues. Then Togashi would have to explain to us how that these chimeras are, you know, the Royal Guard and the King are so chock full of radiation that they're dying, that they're not getting it contaminating, you know, other people. So he'd kind of have to explain, you know, maybe Knuckles and Melaron would have to get radiation sick. Anyway, he just said, you know what, I'll just limit the amount of time, and then I don't even have to deal with this issue. That's what it looks like to me. All right, continuing on. Now, the whole thing that happened with the piece, the playing piece, the marshal, that little piece of a piece that he saw, you know, when he would play Kagome, is awesome because he can see a hand, so he's right on the cusp. And I love how Togashi has played his memories slowly, just stepping us closer to full, you know, recall. This is awesome. He's just almost, King is almost there. The dialogue between Ikago and Wolfman is interesting. They used to be friends, and Wolfman is now he's you know, siding more with the human part of himself instead of the ant part, and that's what kind of plays out with Youpi. And even him questioning, he's like, hey, do you remember when you used to be human, or, you know, or whatever, you have any memories? And Youpi, as I've said previously before episodes, that he was never, there's no human DNA in him. He was made purely from magical beasts, so he was never human to begin with. And so that makes him even further distant from Wolfen. And then he's like, I'm gonna start asking some questions, right? Because he sees him now as a weak enemy. He's in that little form. He can just sense that he's in a weakened state. So that brings about that whole, you know, chain of events collides right in there. And Youpi, and then he gets stressed, and then he starts the nosebleed radiation sickness. So he's about done. And then we go ahead and get, and what was it, they just give the fact that 6/7 of, they gave 6/7 of themselves, you know, poof, and I'm assuming Youpi the same thing, to the king. Beyond being in an area, they probably thought it was just heat, right? They didn't realize it was actually radiation that they were absorbing. Now, the whole thing with Palm and Ikago, the whole discussion there, that I'm much more, I'm not even mixed. I don't think it was necessary for us, okay? I realize why he did it. He wanted to bring up points like the Royal Guard. If ants can side with humans, the ant soldiers, then why can't the Royal Guards? And the whole thing about the Royal Guards can still be loyal, but they could still hate humans, which is, you know, kind of the, you know, point. And the whole thing about the humans being in the Chimera ant pool, those were things that I don't know. I don't think it was necessary at this time, and I even think it was too late. I think even the timing. I think this really wasn't needed ever. I think it was covered, in my opinion, and especially now. But anyway, it's kind of sort of a refresher, I guess. Now, the points about the difference between the Chimera and the humans, the example that was given, the ants, right, consuming the beetle that had died, right? Because that's nature. That's the way nature works. And then we, you know, here as humans, is somebody with a tennis shoe coming down and just stomping on the whole lot for no reason. And that for that reason, we're worse, right? And we may be worse because we have power. We as in the chain of evolution, you know, human beings being the top of the food chain, so we have so much more power, but what do we do with it, right? I mean, we just abuse it, you know, a lot. We don't seem to have a purpose, okay? Whereas the Chimeras at least are trying to dominate, but at least live within nature. It seems like us. It looks like we're not. So anyway, a lot of good points. It was a good episode. It wasn't great. Like I said, I think the author was trying to cover points that, to be honest, didn't need to be covered at all, in my opinion. I think they were already pretty obvious, and if they were, they should have been done earlier. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's amazing. The Hangouts, I'm going to try to do them on, for anybody new to this channel, I do Hangouts every week. Try to do at least one, and it was combined Naruto and Hunter x Hunter. I'm going to separate them. I'm going to try doing the Hunter x Hunter on Thursday nights. I'll put the links down below. There's another channel that I have which I actually do the Hangouts on, and I re-upload them here. And for reasons I'm not going to get into at the moment. And also, of course, I will cover the chapter, and that's what we will be covering. And Thursday is going to be, and then it'll probably get uploaded here like by Friday on this channel. So if you're watching this on my main channel. But anyway, so Thursday it will cover the chapter, we'll cover the anime, and hopefully to see you there. All right, like I say, links below. Till next time, take care.